heartbreak sucks, and you do have to deal with it. Each heartbreak, like with every bad event that happens in life, sets an important marker that you eventually look back on a longer timeline. My dad dying was the hardest part for me and Andrew to go through ever. But what you have to understand with things like that is you don't actually have a choice. People say this all the time, like, how did you deal with that? It's like, well, what was my alternative? Bring him back to life? There is no way out of it. So you can either, and people say this all the time, oh, my mother's got cancer, she's going to die in 6 months. What do? I say enjoy the next 6 months with her. As much, like, there are lots of situations in life where your hands are tied. So with Dad dying, it was a simple matter of, okay, you can let this destroy you, which is an option, and people do this all the time, drink themselves to death, I don't know, start cutting themselves, whatever stuff people do to cope with difficult situations, or you can be sad anyway, because you're sad either way, and work 18 hours a day. And in fact, I said that the time I was working the most, when I was around 27, 28, I think he died when I was 27. So you can work 18 hours a day, not let anything distract you, and stay focused on the mission, so that way you have less time to think about it, and you could be sad while you're working. And then, you know, when you start to come to terms with everything, you've got millions of dollars, as opposed to, oh, I've come to terms with everything, but I'm in a rehab clinic. So I think that as much as it was unpleasant, I don't think it was difficult, because there isn't a way out of it. You could be a sad winner or a sad loser. So go and win every day. Imagine you're on a sailing boat. There's 10 of you. 10 of you are on a sailing boat, miles and miles from any land from the shore. And the boat springs a leak. The boat starts to sink. It does sink. And there's 10 of you in the water, right? You swim and you swim and you swim. Every single one of you thinks, this boat sank. This sucks. This is shit. I do anything for that boat to be back, for that boat not to have sank. And you, and maybe one other dude out of the 10 reach the shore. You get onto that sand, you lay your back on that beach, you look up at the sky and you think, thank, I'm saved. After just a day or a week or 2 weeks, when you're finally back at civilization, you will be so happy that boat sank, because that will be a defining moment of your life. Now, the sinking ship can be an analogy to, I think, everything that every man has been through. You ever had your heart broken when you were younger? You?
Of course.
I was once a 21, 19, 22-year-old kid who had his heart broken. Am I not? But when I say focusing on the event, paddling in that water, in the ocean, no matter how long you stay there, dreaming that the boat comes back, is always the wrong way to live. When you've been through the hardship, you have to persevere through it and get through the other end. And that's what separates the wheat from the chaff. That's what separates the milk from the cream. So you can, like my brother said, go through hardship, let it break you, let it destroy you, let yourself fall into some mediocre life that you don't like and you don't love, and you lose your passion and you lose your fire, and that's fine, because that's what's going to happen to most people who go through hard experiences. But you don't want to be that person. You want to be the small percentage, because not everyone listening is going to go through hard shit and make it through. You want to be that small percentage that does make it through, that goes through the hardship and laughs about it, smiles about it. You asked me about jail about 10 times today. Every single time, I think I burst into laughter at least once. Did I not?
Yeah.
But when you were like, oh, the Tates are probably having a bad time, I feel so bad for him. Myron, come on, you should have known better. There was this guy, Mustafa, he was the entertainment for the entire jail. Imagine like a coliseum watching a warrior at work. All the prison windows, you could see this guy's cell. And what you do is, when the whole jail started chanting, Mustafa, Mustafa, is he'd start smashing his room up and taking anything he could and throwing it out the window. So the first few days I saw him do this, he was ripping up his mattress, throwing the feathers from his pillow out, throwing his bar of soap out, and everyone would cheer every time he got something out the window. He ended up breaking the glass to his window. It's February, it's -10. Mustafa's cold as no blanket, sleeping on a concrete floor, but then the cheering would start again, the chanting would start. Mustafa, Mustafa, Mustafa. And then
Out of nowhere, you just hear these noises, this banging. The guards would be like, oh, we're not going to go beat him up now. He's got nothing left in his room. And he'd be kicking the wall, trying to break off bits of tile, peel off bits of metal from the bed frame. And every time he threw something out the window, the jail would erupt. Yeah. So, obviously, I like Mustafa. Every time I saw him, I passed him in the hallways. He ain't got no cigarettes. He's broke. I'm the rich guy in jail. I'm the cigarette boss. Yeah. The cigarette don of jail. So I hand him some cigarettes every time I see him. So then Mustafa had the bright idea of going into various cells where he had beef with people who didn't like his bullshit, smashing up their cell, and telling everyone, I'm with the Tate brothers now. I'm with the Tate brothers now. You see how big they are. Don't f*** with me. But he's in his cell with these people.
Ah, shit.
I'm on a different cell on a different floor.
Yeah.
I can't back him up.
Yeah.
Not that I would.
Yeah.
And I heard he got his ass whooped about 8 or 9 times throwing my name around jail.
Damn.
The Marlboro Maverick.
Yeah.
Mustafa's a legend.
And you thought I was having a bad time? And that's the way it is. You have to be the guy who could go through the hardship. So many people now watching this, the 30,000 watching live and the millions who will watch this, I'm sure, in the coming days and weeks and months, will be like, oh no, but with me, well, right now I'm going through this. Good. There's tens of thousands of you who will hear this message, and maybe 300-400 are going to make it to the point where they're like, ha ha ha, that was so good, that was so hilarious, I'm now killing it. I'm going to quote the great M. Bison from Street Fighter.
Oh, shit.
M. Bison is not just a mighty warrior with the powers of electric shock, but he's also a philosopher. And he was speaking to Chun-Li once. And this is a defining moment of my life, hearing Bison say this, because this is very much how I feel. Chun-Li says, you burned my village. You killed my parents. You murdered my family. You blah, 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 blah. And he was like, what, I did? And she was like, what, you don't remember? And his exact line was, the day that Bison graced your village is the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. And the way that I have lived through all of my heartbreaks, through all of my setbacks, through all of my losses, to everyone listening who I've ever lost, I always say, everyone I've ever lost is worse off without me. They now are 35 to 40-year-old men and women. And the most interesting fact about them, the first thing they bring up within 10 minutes of conversation with anyone they meet is, yeah, I used to date Tristan Tate. Yeah, I used to be friends with Tristan Tate. And I don't even remember who the they are.
I am so confident that all the decisions I make are correct, that I don't experience heartbreak. And this sounds arrogant. I feel like when you're looking at a chessboard, sometimes you have to sacrifice pieces to continue your position going well. And I look at where I am today and I'm thinking, yeah, good, whatever. I put this on a Instagram photo. I said, and everyone who I've ever lost is worse off without me. And that's how I genuinely feel. There was this one particular girl where I guess it was the closest thing I've ever had to a hard breakup. I was dating her, but we'd break up for stupid reasons all the time. Stupid reasons. I can't explain how stupid they were because I don't even remember how stupid they were. Like, I was going to take her for dinner. Andrew forgot his keys. It was the winter. Andrew's outside the house. All right, we're turning around. But you said you were going to take me for dinner. Shut the up. What am I going to do? Leave Andrew outside for 3 hours? What a stupid... Like, that stupid reason would spiral into an argument where we'd break up for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, I'm the kind of guy that if you break up with me, if you think I'm going to be in my room with my laptop out on Pornhub, you are wrong. If you've broken up with me, then good. You've got about 24 hours to make up with me, or there's going to be somebody else in my bed. Because I think that would be very cruel as a man if I would somehow make an argument and break up with my girlfriend, then go sleep with other people, and then get back with her. That would be some sort of trick, some type of manipulation. But if you're a chick and you want to break up with me, good. You got about 24 hours before there's someone else, at least around me. So don't waste, don't break up with me for stupid reasons. And this girl understood this very well because every time she'd ever break up with me, there would always be someone new. So essentially, we broke it up over, I remember the exact reason. I had a business meeting and she said, can I come? And I said, no. And she said, why? I said, because these are important people I'm meeting and no, you cannot come to the business meeting. And she goes, oh, well, please let me come. Please let me come. And I said, you know what? Okay, yes, you can come. So she gets dolled up, does her nails, does her makeup. We meet at a restaurant. These guys are from New York City. Bit fat, out of shape, older guys. They were like, yeah, I'm in Eastern Europe. I want to see some girls. I want to go to a strip club. So I said, okay, cool. We were eating at the restaurant for about 45 minutes. I said, okay, cool. You have to go home because I've got to take these guys out to a strip club. Well, why did you invite me if it's only 45 minutes? I was like, don't. Are you out of your mind? Literally, shut the up, go home. Sent her home. Well, she was in the wrong and I was in the right and we broke up. Cool. Start sleeping with other women, obviously, as I do. Get back with this girl for about 2 days. And then this girl I was sleeping with says she's pregnant. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. It's an interesting situation to be in. So I straight up tell my girlfriend at the time, yeah, this girl's pregnant. And she basically gave me the choice. Well, okay, fine. Tell her to get rid of it and then we'll stay together. I'm like, oh, I see. So you think I'm going to literally kill a child for a woman who breaks up with me because of stupid reasons like this? I said, no. That was the choice I made. And it was but here's the thing. It was hard losing her, but it wasn't a hard choice. It was the easiest choice in the world. And now I have my daughter, who I love more than I'll ever love that chick. So who cares? That's the exact situation. Wow. So yeah, I've been through hard situations, but again, that's a binary choice. Like I would never have ever said to a girl, get an abortion so I could stick with some chick who doesn't respect me enough to not play stupid games. So it was hard losing her, I guess, but it wasn't hard at all to make the choice.
I think a lot of men should just embrace it. Like it's a part of life, and it just makes you tougher.
It is.
Like there was one really hard breakup when I was 26, and I was pretty messed up for like a month or two, but I had so much pride that I knew the relationship had to come to an end. And as much as I didn't want to, I was like, it's done. Because she told me she'd been speaking to another guy. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. That's
you could do, yeah.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. You can't ever be that little bitch who goes back after that.
So there was time, obviously, she was like my best friend. And I was thinking about her a lot, because I was living alone. I didn't really have like many friends or anything at that point in time. So there were so many times I wanted to message her or even just like, oh, let's just give it another shot. But I was like, no, I refuse to do that because I'm too proud.
And that was the smart decision.
Yeah. And just overcoming that turned me into, I don't know how to say, like just a bit of a savage, really. Like I was just cold after that. Like I was ruthless. And then that gave me the sort of the freedom, the confidence to start traveling the world and meeting so many new people.
You know the best thing about becoming influential and successful and rich and smart and all the on the life trajectory that people like me and you are on, the coolest thing is all of your exes finding you after all.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Oh, yeah, it's a shame it didn't work out. Yeah, shame for you. That is pretty funny.
Every single one of them has messaged me.
I know. At some point, they all message you or you catch them watching.
And that one in particular, she did not stop messaging me because she knew she f***ed up.
Remember my quote, everyone who I've ever lost is worse off without me. That's the Tristan Tate original quote. Remember that one? Because it's true. It's true. So, yeah, fuck everyone I've ever lost. And I mean friends, I mean everybody. And it's very true.
I don't know where you're watching this video, but it might not be around forever. The Matrix may take it down. However, up here, there's a link to my Telegram channel. Please click it. All the daily Tristan Tate content is going to be posted there, and that channel isn't going anywhere.